police. It seems so politicised. I mean, just look what it did for a start to the innocent Cardinal George Pell, Conservative. Now, to me, Victoria's police seem to treat Pell from the start as a pedophile, even advertising for so-called victims before it even had a complaint. Got an innocent man sent to jail before the High Court finally stepped in and said he was a victim of an injustice. Well, now, another example. More minor, you might say, but still very disturbing for me. And it's an example for which the police have finally apologised, although still not explained. It has apologised to a journalist, a right-wing journalist, Avi Yemeni, for 3 times now wrongly arresting him as he was trying to cover protests in Melbourne. The apology reads, on each occasion, Mr. Yemeni was wrongly arrested and detained by members of Victoria Police while reporting for Rebel News. Victoria Police sincerely apologises for the hurt and embarrassment suffered by Mr. Yemeni. And I've got to think, wait a minute, wrongly arresting the same reporter not once, not twice, but 3 times? What is going on? And why is the media so uninterested in what seems to me another example of the brutal authoritarianism of the Victorian Labor government and its minions? Let me show you these 3 arrests before I talk to Avi Yemeni. 2 years ago, Yemeni was interviewing people at a so-called Invasion Day protest on Australia Day. Some of the protests were a bit feral. He was arrested, not them, but Yemeni.
Yeah, bounce to the missus. I need you to keep walking.
I'm good. They're getting violent. They're getting violent. I'm being arrested for my own safety.
Then, in September that year, police arrested Yemeni again. This time, quite physically, quite nastily, and at a protest against the harsh virus lockdowns.
I am media. I'm media. I've got my permit in my pocket. My permit is in my pocket.
And then, on Australia Day last year, Yemeni was again arrested when he interviewed protesters at another Invasion Day rally. Police marched right up to him as he peacefully interviewed people, and without explaining why, what right they had, threw him into a police van. And I'm embarrassed to say that even a Murdoch outlet treated it all as a big joke, sneering how infamous far-right YouTube personality Avi Yemeni rants from police van after being detained on Australia Day. And all he did was report on air about an unjust, unlawful arrest of a journalist, which I would have thought was concern for every journalist. But each of those arrests, they were unlawful. A serious attack on free speech and a free press. And after 2 years of fighting in the Supreme Court, Yemeni has now won that apology from the police. And he joins me now. Avi Yemeni, congratulations, but let's go from the start. Why were you, in fact, arrested?
Thank you, Andrew, for having me. And I guess it's pretty simple. In each of those protests, it was either easier to get rid of me because tactically I was being mobbed by violent leftists, and they thought, well, we're not going to deal with the criminals. We're going to take the one person out of this situation who's lawful. And
Well, Australia is kind of close to China, but I never thought that Australia would turn into China. But apparently, the Australian government wants to emulate China, so they don't want to get this word out. I say, I've turned out to cut 2-3 videos already this morning. A lot of them are suppressed news by the country that the news is taking place in, either China or Australia. So I ask you please to share this video. You don't have to like or subscribe, but share it. Let's make it go viral, man. Let's show these governments that we, the people of the world, not just the United States, but we, the people of the world, control this, not their authoritarian dictatorship style governance. You guys have a great morning, and God bless America and everyone out there.